Welcome back, guys, to East 10, Nordics, where last episode, stepping through the door in the depths of Falundheim, we found the old man who began to reveal all, telling us about the origin of the Griga and who he really was as he took on the three Malices to become the young Rollo once again. Wanting us to strike him down and end the threat, Kaja and Adol made it a 2-on-2 duel as Lida assumed her true form to join her husband in battle, with the two shield pairings duking it out until Adol delivered the final blow, sending Rollo onwards to Valhalla to end the adventure. Having just witnessed his funeral, we now view the epilogue. An epilogue, eh?
For all of Gran and the townsfolk's efforts, they've still got a ways to go on rebuilding.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could stay and help, but that sounds boring. Off for adventure to Celceta!
I'll bet. But who knows when you'd be able to set out if you did. It shouldn't be long before the passenger liner makes port. Best you join up with Dogi and Dr. Flair and shove off.
Well, you know, I could go for one last turn around town, eh? Adol knows the sweep is essential to Falcom.
That's so. Guess it does have more than a few memory lanes to go down. How's this then? I'll take you as close to your destination as I can on the Sandras. That way, you won't have to keep to any schedules.
Are you sure?
Look, I'm the one offering, so don't think twice about it. Now get a move on, will ya? I'll be right here waiting.
You sure you don't want to come with me? You should be walking next. It's going to be weird if we walk away from me. What? This is wrong. It'll probably be a while before this town's back to its old self again. Once you said your goodbyes, we'll hop on the Sandras and take you as close to your destination as we can. No need to think twice about it. Take your time, okay? What's the matter? Go on and get your goodbyes over with. Kaja. Separation anxiety is a real thing. Carnac's being rebuilt, and I'll be pitching in now where I can. I'm working with a bunch of merchant companies to help transport supplies by boat. We're bringing in relief from Balta Island, Minorca Island, even Ilma. I've got to admit, joining hands with people like this isn't so bad after all. Now that those monsters are finally out of our hair, it's time for us merchants to take the lead. We've got a big town to rebuild, and that means big opportunities for business. No way am I letting Carpet Trading get all the credit for this. By the way, the youth brigade, was it? Whatever the name is. Those kids are really working their butts off. We've got to buckle down and do our best to help them out. You mean the new town leadership? That's what they should be. Hey kids, you alone? Yeah, I've got some business to discuss with the Balta Seaforce. Wanted to ask if they let me run off somewhere before the Romans catch up to me. No matter how deplorable it may seem, I'm going to live on and stick it out as a fugitive. That way I can keep her memory alive too, right here in my heart. Thanks, kid. You give my regards to Kaja, yeah? I wish you and your companions the best of luck on your travels, kid, from the very bottom of my heart. That guy didn't want to speak to me. Turns out even the Balta Seaforce was lending their full cooperation in rebuilding the town. Normans and Gleans working shoulder to shoulder for a common cause. Never before I see the day. It's enough to hit you right in the heart. I got a feeling Obelia Gulf might be starting to change for the better, bit by bit. Look alive, people. We're getting another shipment of relief supplies today. First one to speak to, by the look of it, in order of where we walk is clues. Oh, Adol, is Rollo's funeral over? Yeah, the ceremony was beautiful. I wish I could have been there too, but there's no getting around tradition on that one. By the way, I asked Olvar if he would make me his official apprentice. He refused, said trying to juggle shipwrighting and merchant work at the same time would be an insult to the craft. Of course he did. Yeah, that's just how Olvar is, but that doesn't mean I'm giving up. I'll show him that I can be a proper shipwright and support the trading company. Of course, none of this means anything unless I manage to get Olvar's approval. Hey, you've really toughened up. Yeah, well, I owe that to you. It's another one of the many things we gain on our journey, you know? Not to say we didn't lose a lot too. I mean, just take a look at the town. But in 5, maybe 10 years, I'm hoping we'll be able to look back on this and smile. And in order to do that, I can't afford to lie to myself about who I am anymore. So thanks, Adol, for giving me the push I needed. Have a safe journey. Give my regards to Dogi and Dr. Flair too, okay? Okay then, guess I better figure out how I'm going to win over. Actually, trying to convince him with words will only make him more obstinate, huh? My best bet might be to just push my way into the shipyard and stand my ground in silence. Is devious. There's a bit of the merchant streak that allows him to be that level of devious, or like think that through in that fashion. Well, the frame's completely warped. We're gonna have to take it down and start fresh. Yeah, I bet. So Ashley, I'm planning to go on a little expedition. I'm gonna hop on a passenger ship and observe the sea life in places a bit further out from here. It's because of you guys that I finally managed to find my own dream. So thanks. I'm glad I can finally say that now. Little kitty coming up. I wonder what kinds of sea life there'll be outside of Obelia Gulf. I'm looking forward to it. Are you two going to be a partnership? These fishing boats are rather unsteady, aren't they? Whoa, careful there, Missy. By the way, are you sure about all of this? Sticking around in Carnac, that is. I mean, you're finally free to live the life you want now that you made a clean break with your family. Yes, I am. That is precisely why I choose to remain. After all, it is here where the true love I longed for resides. Ooh. Wait, what? You caught something else while out to sea there, Cohen? He certainly is a dense sort. Yeah, even that aspect of him is charming. There's no need to rush. We have all the time in the world to nurture this bond. I was wondering why the Missy wanted to give commercial fishing a try all of a sudden. Does she really mean what I think she does? What should I... How do I even... kick the booze habit that you've got? Likes looking up. Me and my friends are looking all over to make sure there's nothing dangerous left lying around. I guess we can't go in... Well, maybe we can. Ooh. No one's in it, though. Well, I'm guessing they've moved back their stuff. Is Sandra's parked up in there? No. Well, there it is. You captain or second lieutenant or something now? I don't know. Are you really all right with this, Mayor? Yes, the role of reconstruction foreman goes to you, Gren. Full discretion will be yours to exercise. Hells yeah! Time for us to really get cracking. Note, you are strictly to oversee the actual work site, so I want you to focus on ensuring safety protocols so as to prevent injury. You will also deploy and manage the militiamen sent to assist. I expect thorough reports from both Commander Gulliver and myself. Understood. I can't remember this much stuff at once, though, so I'll ask again later to make sure I've got it all straight. We're going to fix Carnac up good as new. There's no room to screw this one up. So long as you comprehend that much. The militia will need to stand guard over the town, too. Can't go relying on the Balta Seaforce for everything. Right, I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Gulliver and I are exceedingly busy, hence why we need a foreman to supervise the actual work sites. Gren will probably make no shortage of mistakes, but when he does, I'll simply let him off with a good scolding. We've decided to start working with the Balta Seaforce again. On top of that, our budget got enough of an overhaul to keep the militia running. You really made a difference in this town. Thanks for everything. Hey, Hugo's up there. Oh, Hugo first. Hugo seems a little down. It's almost as if he's sad. Let's meet again someday, Hugo. Yeah, I'll come back. Promise. Willie, I was wondering if that might have been where certain stuff in the game was leading to be honest. Hugo seemingly satisfied, appears to be bidding farewell. I mean, you could definitely do more around here with the Normans, especially because the gods and all that seem to be an existent thing of chaos and whatnot. Hugo appears to be bidding farewell and safe travels. Maybe Kanja's the chosen one at the end. I don't know. No, it's Stogie. We all know it's Stogie. Hey, if it isn't Adol, today's the day you set out, right? Oh, it's going to be lonely around here without you, man. I'm going to miss you guys too. You sure about that? Aren't you just itching to get out there and find your next adventure? By the way, Lita told me something interesting. Remember how Rosa was able to recreate Carnac when she was a Griga? Well, that might have been thanks to a tiny scrap of power from the Sea King's throne still lingering in the Marine Triangle. Same logic applies to me being able to use mana on Viewpoint Isle. Guess we were both drawing on that thing Rollo mentioned. You know, humanity's ability to forge the world around them. And you wished for it so much that it became true. That's pretty shocking as a good pun considering what he did. Right? It's crazy, isn't it? But anyhow, the important thing is to keep your mind on whatever it is you want. That's the real power of humanity, according to Rollo. So as long as everyone wants it hard enough, this town will be put back together in no time. Now there's the Gren I know. When I gave the same spiel to my pops, all I got was a long drawn out sigh. Seriously, come on back to Carnac someday, okay, Adol? Believe me, by the time you do, it's going to be bigger and better than ever. We could even go goof off over at the hideout again. I'll definitely visit. Heck yeah, I'll hold you to that. And guess it'll be our last time chewing the fat, huh? Take care of yourself out there, okay? Eat your veggies and brush your teeth. I eat my teeth and brush my veggies. Say bye to Dogi and Dr. Flair for me too, yeah? I'll never forget you, my man. Not in a million years. Alright, considering most of the people are over there, let's start from far off to the west, because we're looking south now. Hey, the ghost maid here! I forgot your name, Nana. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? I didn't expect to see you here. Seeing Carnac mid-restoration brought back some old memories for me. Back then, the land was ravaged by a terrible flood, and we also had to take great pains in order to rebuild. There are always people, now as before, who rise from each fall and preserve. And I think that's incredible. Living humans truly are a dazzling sort, it turns out. All I can do is watch over things, but I'm still going to have to cheer them on with all I have. I'll be watching over this place for a little while longer. At least until I've done so, and so enough for Miming, Neri, and Gunidli too. Gunivli? There's something about this young man. His looks don't ring any bells, yet he feels so familiar. Could he be that same silly guy who never dared to reveal his face? What's your problem? Quit staring at me. Oh, you mean the guy in the tent? I was planning on ever going outside for your information. After talking with you, I started thinking that maybe I really did just want to help people after all. And it's weird remembering that feeling. It was like getting a chance to make a fresh start. And that's when this lady showed up. She's kind of an oddball, but she's nice, and she sort of reminds me of the girl I had a crush on. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I've decided to go back to living life more positively. So don't even think about getting in my way, capiche? First things first, I owe this lady. I've got to pay my debts at the very least. After that, guess I could do whatever I want. If only I knew what that was. I was so happy to have Obelia Gulf back to its beautiful self that I started roaming my way around it again. Then somewhere near the Runes Islands, I picked up this weirdo. Well, it's more like I saved him, really. The guy was practically starving to death. He's sniveling, foul-mouthed, plus completely clueless on what his next move is. But judging by all the stuff on him, he's got a good eye for merchandise. Enough to make for a halfway decent merchant. I just really hope he doesn't try to follow me on my sightseeing tour. He is. I want to savor all that beautiful scenery alone, thank you very much. Last thing I need is some moody tag-along spoiling my trip. Thank you so much for everything you've done, Dr. Flair. No, it is I who should be thanking you. This has been quite the edifying experience. And I learned many a lesson from you as well, Dr. Asrad. Oh, don't be ridiculous. You only got to see my bad side this entire time, no doubt. I can vouch for that. Things are sure to stay busy for us a while longer, but the two of us will do our best to manage. And of course, we'll always uphold the guiding principle of the Asrad Clinic, to treat any and all. I wish you every success. Thanks to Dr. Flair and the rest of you, I feel I've begun to change as well. I'm going to start over at square one and make my wife proud, with full conviction in my practice. Here in this Gulf, I've met so many and learned so much. Had I solely searched for the Celceta flower, I would have missed out on a multitude of experiences. Fate's willing, I'll get to further my studies in this manner for the rest of my days. Oh, hello there, Adol. That was rather quick. Is your business on Balta Island finished already? Yep, time to set out for Celceta. Which is on the channel if you want to watch the Let's Play. Now those are the words I've been waiting to hear. We owe you and Dr. Flair in every way I can think of, Adol. And not just me and my father either. The same goes for the people of Carnac, the princess, and everyone on Balta Island. It might not have been on purpose, but you brought us all together and pointed our way forward. Your adventures do seem to have a way of benefiting those around you, Adol. Another reason why adventuring is the best. Speaking as one of the people you've saved, I certainly can't argue otherwise. So much has happened. Almost too much, you might say. Thanks to it all, Obelia Gulf feels like it's headed in a really positive direction. At the very least, the reconstruction efforts will give us more opportunities to collaborate with Balta Island than ever before. They're a lot more cooperative than they used to be. I have a hunch we can build a good relationship with them. At the end of the day, the Grieger were born from our own hearts. We'll have to do our best to ensure that never happens again. Anyway, we'd better not hold up Adol and Dr. Flare any longer, Mirabelle. Right, sorry about that. Traveling together with you has given me a treasure to last a lifetime, Adol. I promise to spend my days cherishing each thought, every feeling our journey inspired in me. So take care of yourself, Adol. I'll be praying for your safe travels. Once Dr. Flare leaves, my father will be the only physician in town again. I guess that means I'll have to make sure he cuts back on the fishing for a while. You're looking forward to that, aren't you? Where did we end this at? There's only 3 more people we have to speak to, but there's various other members of the crew as well. Very well, Balta Island will provide you with aid at a later date. With a few strong Normans on the job, clearing out the remaining rebels should proceed swiftly. You may leave supplying the materials to us as well. We shall do everything in our power to assist. After all, carbon trading will be indispensable to the reconstruction effort. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm forever in your debt. No need for any talk of debts here. It's as Miss Kaja says, those who live on these seas need to support one another as comrades. Let us all do our very best together. Oh, Adol, today's the day of your departure, isn't it? May you have a wonderful journey and be sure to come back and see us again sometime. I'm certain that whenever you do, Miss Kaja and I will be right here waiting for you. I intend to continue assisting with Carnac's reconstruction efforts. Through trade, we can enrich people's lives and improve the lands in which we reside. Doing so is my truest desire as a merchant. So this is the Norman spirit. Gets me right in the heart, it does. Still failing to repay them would be an affront to my honor as a businessman. Cruise has been full of drive too lately, so I've got to make a good showing of some Rome's brand mercantile spirit. It's all the Picards! They're all lined up. Okay, everybody, here we go! Snackies! Yippee! Wookiees! Shipippy! Shinies! Pick-you-cue! And sparklies! Pippin! Ooh! Team Sash and the Picards' performance is a hit. One of them could literally eat you, Sash. Run away. It's so big. Scaredy Picards looking the other way. Is the Scrappy Picard the one that's next to you? Like, guard Picard. Today is Sash's debut performance. I only hope it goes down well. She wanted to encourage the townsfolk, and this is the idea she landed on. Apparently, she even plans to take the Picards along with her on a traveling show. Who can say how serious she is about all of that, but I'll watch over her every step of the way. Ah, encore, encore. Keep it up there, Sash. You too, little Picards. Random cute stuff is going on. Adol, did you like the show? I'm going to learn how to do even more stuff, and then I'll go on a journey just like you. I hope we see each other again someday. Doggy's there. We'll leave Doggy for last. We're going with him after all. Oh, I smell something yummy. I bet you do over there. I guess they've got a kitchen going. Greetings, Red One. It seems you were able to reach a happy ending. No, ending isn't quite right. For you, this is merely a beginning. That I was able to accompany you for even this small portion of your journey has been extremely fulfilling. Truthfully, I would have liked to witness just a sliver more of it. To think that I, the presider of resignation, could harbour such an emotion. I'm certain that many more fruitful journeys lie in store for you. Enjoy them to their fullest, the encounters and trials ahead. But above all else, keep well, Adol. I'm certain that many more fruitful journeys lie in store for you. Enjoy them to their fullest, the encounters and trials ahead. Keep well, I got stabbed in the chest during this adventure. Long ago, our ancestors all lived as one unified nation. Once people truly understand this, they stop expressing prejudice or fear against the Normans. That's not to say the issue is wholly resolved, but even still, we are starting to bridge the gaps between us one step at a time. Above all, I am overjoyed to have been able to share these sentiments with you all. We now know that a path toward reconciliation exists, and it is with that knowledge that our peoples can begin to bridge the gaps between us one small step at a time. In that sense, my dream just may have come true. I cannot begin to tell you how pleased that makes me. Be well, Adol. When we meet again someday. What's over here? Rafe. Going to his dad's grave? Rafe seems to be headed somewhere. Could it be? I've got to follow Rafe. Ah, back from Boulder Island already? I was looking for you. Ah, there you go again. You're better off just leaving me be. I'll level with you. The mercenary group I joined up with asked me to come back. Sounds like the situation on the front lines along the border isn't looking so hot. Are you going to go back? Was kind of wondering that myself. This isn't like me, but I've been doing a lot of serious thinking. Ren, though, that group all said I ought to forgive my old man. And how do you feel about that? Don't even get me started. When it comes down to it, my old man drowned himself in drink out of his own personal weaknesses. So ultimately, he's still the one responsible for Mark's death. I still feel that way, and I doubt there's any convincing me otherwise. But then I think back on my time traveling on the Sandras, and about everything you and Kaja told me about Rollo's life. These past few days has had me mulling and mulling over and over about this and that and this and that. To the point where I'm even more confused than ever now. So, what do you want at the end of the day, though? Oh, that's a good question. I think I'll just stick with everyone here till we're done rebuilding. No clue what I'll do afterward, though. You really are a wonder, you know that? You're a weird thing for danger and adventure, that soft-hearted streak that makes you meddle in everyone's business. Real talk, it's even more depressing than being around Gren. That's the ultimate praise coming from you. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I do want to thank you, Adol. Back when you found me on Callan Island, I honestly couldn't have cared less if I'd died out there. But now I'm really starting to feel grateful that I didn't. You're leaving Carnac today, aren't you? Just praying your trip goes smoothly. You take care of yourself too, Rafe. I will. Maybe fate will cross our paths together again somewhere. Well, anyway, let's both keep our heads up there, alright? See you around, Adol. Rafe, who apparently has something to talk about with his mother, returned back to the town with Adol. Makes sense.
Let's not go this way.
If there's a character that we will bump in again, Rafe is being set up. No trouble to report today. Feels like the town's finally coming back to life, doesn't it? Rafe might be over here. Well, hey there. I was just arranging the delivery of some materials at Mr. Carpenter's request. I have to say, though, the Sandras turned out to be quite the ship, especially for one that was due to be scrapped. She sailed not only the Rel Darksea, but even the Cicatrix, right? Her exploits are an inspiration to us all. It's hoping she stays strong and seaworthy for years to come. She's the strongest ship in the Obelia Gulf. What are you talking about? You know, a little bird told me that the Sea King's throne was discovered. But no matter who I ask, I can't get anyone to give me the specifics. Well, the secrecy is just making me more curious. Maybe once things have settled down, I'll set out into Obelia Gulf once more and see what I can find. There's just maybe a few treasures that went overlooked. That's the tools and lumber all accounted for. Alright, let's split up and haul these wherever they need to go. Dawson gave Rafe the chance he needed to finally move forward. I'm sure he can rest in peace knowing that. I want to support him as well. To do that, I'll have to get stronger myself. I'm still not entirely at ease about Rafe's future, but I want to support him. To do that, I'll have to get stronger. By the way, where's Kaja today? I know the Manicasts are off now, but it's still weird seeing you two apart. I know, right? Give me the jitters. Oh, seems the funeral must be over. I suppose that means the kids will be dropping by soon. How nerve-wracking. I hope I don't put my foot in my mouth. Hey now, we should be grateful to him, shouldn't we? He was the one who arranged to send over release supplies from Balta Island, after all. We wouldn't be able to rebuild the inn otherwise. I'm perfectly aware. That's precisely why I want to say the right things. Our family's future depends on it, after all. Corin, you're absolutely right. Adol, thank you so much for everything. It's because of you that we all managed to come this far. Please come by again someday. I'm sure Rosa will be waiting for you. We have some special guests coming today. I'm sure you know who I mean. They say they're going to help us fix up the inn. Looking forward to seeing them. Sorry, things are a little hectic right now. By the way, if you don't mind, I think you ought to give your regards to Rosa. Has Rosa got a little bit of a sweet thing for me as well, eh? Just wondering where we're at for, like, people entries logged is at 99%. Adol, I didn't realize you were back from Balta Island already. You'll be taking the next boat off the island today, right? What have you been up to, Rosa? Well, you see, I was just thinking of putting on a soup kitchen and handing out food to everybody. If Rollo's funeral's over now, then Philia and the others will be coming to help with the reconstruction soon. My mum and dad will... Huh? Before she realized it was happening, large tears began to roll down Rosa's cheeks. Huh? Oh, darn it. I told myself that I was going to see you off with a smile no matter what. The fact that my family is safe, that I was able to make up with my sister, it's all because of you and Kaja. That's why I don't want to let you go. I'll come back to Carnac someday. Really? Promise? You've got to stay at our inn again when you do, okay? We're going to rebuild it even better than it was before. And I'm going to keep practicing so I can make tons and tons of delicious food for you. We'll get so popular there'll be no vacancies. Don't be silly. We'll make sure there's a room open for you. Anyway, it's hard to say goodbye, but I don't want to hold you up. Take care of yourself, Adol. I'll never, ever forget you. It won't be long before the passenger liner arrives, right? I want to see you off one last time before you leave, so I'll sneak over to the harbour later, okay? We're going to have a big goodbye, aren't we? I've missed one log. Who is it? Dogi? Oh, well. I wasn't really keeping track of that too well. Hey, Adol. Guessing the funeral's all over now. I've been helping with the reconstruction work. Just a little parting gift before we leave. Strange, ain't it? We really only spent a few days in this little town. And yet at this point, it practically feels like home. I feel the same way. We've been through a lot here, let me know. Ah, you too, huh? It really is great journeying around like this. That should just about do it for goodbyes. All that's left is to head back to the docks when ready. Oh no, we're done. It's over. So what profile did you miss? Oh, do I really have to check? I missed someone. How do I check? I guess it would be on people, right? You have to check for the second one. You're guessing Momina. Let's just cut straight to Momina. No? You know which one? Which one is it then? Gunnar? Gunnar? Maybe it's because I just don't have it yet. And I missed one with Gunnar. And so it's post-game, Olizandri, you could say, to find out where Gunnar actually was, because I didn't try to go out on the highway during the walking around and checking out everyone in Carnac sequence, and that's where you have to go. You have to just walk on out to find Gunnar over here. But with that said and done as well, I have done a various few things in our records to sort them out. Recipe entries have been completely logged at this point in time, including battle entries as well. So the things I was missing for there, of course, recipes is just something I didn't want to deal with at the time, because I didn't know which ones I had and which ones I haven't. You just have to match up the list, like write them down or something for what you have. Plus, there is also some lunches that are available in, of course, Ilma Village that I did not eat, which are part of this list as well. So basically, I just made everything that I had. I had already got all the recipes, everything. I just had to make the ones I'd missing. For example, I hadn't made a plain box lunch or a fish fry box lunch. And of course, I hadn't made the seafood supreme box lunch or any of these and a couple of these premium seafood barbecue, etc. But that easily got me up to 100%. The battle side of things, though, was this Twinkle Mush SR was the only thing I was missing. You find that on, was it Serena's Island, recently defeated at. It just is a random spawn, can spawn or not at the start of the area. That's what I missed. It's just luck of the draw if you see it or not. So I managed to see it, defeat it, got the mark, and that was literally the only battle mark I had left. So that is basically everything for the 100% done. The other, of course, thing that I have done is I've got myself the last skill from just reaching level 90 and mastered that as well to reach level 70. So that skill is Ragnar Disaster, and I'll show you a clip of it here.
Fire and ice! Hit through! Fire and ice! Hit through!
So it may not look like much, but it is actually incredibly damaging. Like, if you've got your 5 times multiplier and you use that on Rollo and Leela together, it can just deplete their health bar instantly. So it's kind of bonkers, especially because there's 2 targets, so it's hitting both targets for the same amount of damage. It was slightly ridiculous. So with that said and done, let us get our last person log and then say that's 100%, shall we?
Ah, Adol.
Yeah, kind of weird seeing you here.
Is it? This lighthouse has always been a part of my patrol route. We owe you a great debt for your part in this whole affair. It is due to your efforts that serenity has returned to Obelia Gulf. You've stated, however, that the Grieger are a darkness that nests within the hearts of men. There's no telling when they will resurface. Veritable curse upon humanity that they are. The world is in the hands of its people. All of us would do well to bear that in mind.
Yeah, you make a good point there.
Be that as it may, mankind has built its history upon its struggles throughout the ages. And the days yet to come will almost certainly be no different. Now then, much as I would like you to remain with the Balta Seaforce as the princess's pillar of support, I believe allowing you your freedom will make the future far more storied. That is to say, I have a feeling we'll meet again someday. Somewhere. Allow me to express my gratitude. I pray from the heart that your travels be safe.
Afterwards, Gunnar bade farewell to Adol and departed from the lighthouse. Seashell Network unlocked, which of course is all our people done. Total of 100% on everything on the list. Nice, you gotta say. Wonder if he went actually back to town or not. Let's check there quickly. I mean, it'd be easier for me to go, I'll just go by there.
Okay,
Walk
let's
back.
go.
He probably won't be there at all. But we need to go back anyway to set off to Celceta, don't we? And there's no extra marker there, so let's get going. With that said and done, let's rejoin the main Let's Play. And let me just say, wait for the end of the credits. There's a little something for you there too.
That's that then. The torch is yours from here on out.
Sure thing. Consider it a promise.
Promise to what?
To make sure my little brother doesn't bite off more than he can chew while I'm not watching. I'll be counting on Dogi to keep an eye out in my stead. Can't just let a lodestone for trouble like you stumble from one scrape into another alone.
I'm no Norman, though, so this won't be another shield brethren situation.
It's certainly true that Adol might benefit from having someone of that nature along. A partner who can both encourage and admonish him as the situation demands.
Karja and the doc here could use some babysitting themselves, if you ask me.
Right then. If there's nothing else that needs taken care of, let's hoist the sails and put to sea.
Fare thee well, Carnac.
I'd very much like to return in the future, after they've fully rebuilt.
Hey, Adol. About where I'm dropping you off. Kaznan's inland from the Celcetan coast, so there's no harbor in the area. That means we'll have to shoot for the passenger liner's port of call.
Ahoy!
Was that? Those guys. Seems like every one of them's managed to find a new life goal to work toward.
What about you, Karja, though?
I'm the same. Since that talk with my mom, I've settled on a goal of my own. To scour the seas for a place where we Normans can build a new home. To take my turn carrying on the dream she and so many others stood for. That's nobody's choice but mine, of course. Sure, it'll mean rough waters ahead of me. But seeing Rollo, the life that old-timer led, it spurred me on.
I know you can do it.
Can't say how, but I'll try. Adol, decades from now, when I'm an old woman and you're an old man, no matter how much time goes by, we'll still be shield brother and shield sister. If you're in a fix, I'll rush to the rescue sure as the sun. So, whenever it comes to mind, even if it's only once in a while, come pay me a visit, okay?
And that is East 10. The Nordics complete. More evolution to the series, more crazy adventure, and more interest to see what further journeys of Adol Christin await us. Because there's just plot threads that are on this that can lead to many other things, I guess, if you want to. And to be honest, I don't see why Adol can't have 2 books set in the same place at different time periods. Goes back, checks on things. Stuff goes haywire with the gods. Lotto's on the run. God of Chaos. It sounds like it could be fun. So you'd have to move away from the boat kind of stuff thing. But the Viking setting made a lot of sense at the end of the game as well. Not just for it being a different overall place and feeling and nationality, etc., you could say. But the fact that it allowed us to have a story where we end up killing someone to get rid of an evil that is inherently actually good, but it fits perfectly considering they're Vikings. He's come to the end of his life and he wants to die in combat to go to Valhalla in the end. And it's just perfectly within their culture to do this thing. That last battle fought with no hard feelings, no malice, to also put away a threat that was inside of him, was a pretty nice way to, like, box everything, scene everything. I don't know, I'm missing the word. The setting was great for exactly that ending. No big dangerous threat in the end. It was much more of a... That's the thing about this one. It really was very much an adventure, a mystery. And going down to 2 characters was a bit of a gamble, I guess. Changing the combat system as well by taking away stuff like flash guard, etc., and having it mainly on just full guard. Of course, it made the combat, you could say, easier if you just held guard. You could do that for most attacks and barely any attacks actually blasted through you. But being able to hit those extra guards, build up your damage and get more damage from playing defensively well was really nice. And I very much like the focus on 2. Karja's a very strong character. So that is beautiful too. I was waiting for the music to kick in. It was too light. It was too light. Yeah. But still, it was a great cast anyway, having the cast be around as the ancillary characters versus stuff. Different battle systems, different ways of doing things. We don't always need 6 party members, we don't always need 8, we don't always need 9 that we have to gear up across like everything. You can balance it out in a different way. And while I say, of course, again, Guard is ridiculously strong in the game, the skill expression they allowed you by actually guarding at the right times, etc. Though, the same was not really said for dodge, which is why dodge didn't give you any real damage multiplier over a critical. Just having to hold down dodge and dodge those blue attacks was kind of, lol, funny. I thought originally it was just pressing dodge at the right time, and that one time where I went through an entire load of things by pressing dodge at the right time, or so I thought. Felt great. But, yeah, no wonder they didn't give the damage multiplier to dodge or let any of the damage multiplications happen with dodge. because it was just hold button. It did change things up slightly and make sure you didn't guard anything, which was its entire purpose. It was its entire everything. That was all it needed to be, I guess. But I wouldn't mind visiting near the region again. They're seafaring people, the Normans. They could come further afield. They could come to the core. Of course, it looks like mostly the main member that would be going further afield of just the Carnac crew is Wraith, being a mercenary. And we haven't been to Hispani yet. Unless we go to any Hispani kind of times in a certain Kefin. But we haven't been there yet as well. When's that getting remade? When's that coming out in the West? That's what I want to know. The only book of Adol Christins we've yet to read. And I always worried that one of the things I always thought about this East game, knowing it was coming out for a while, is that they were using East now to kind of prop up trails and use East as a testing engine battleground. But no, they really took East a lot further with the cutscenes and the cool battle sequences. They really are going on with their character model animations mid-battle. Those cut-ins for the special stuff when you actually get the full block on the red attack during certain boss fights. Ace! They're well animated and well choreographed, and they have a real weight to them, and it's yes! My reward! It's more of a reward. It's excellent. But I want to see Carter again, she's cool! Best side character we've had? Though some people would of course say Dana. But Dana's kind of gone. Carter's still around. Carter's kick ass. Is there anything better than a Viking woman? I don't know. But I wonder what our next adventure will be. Will we go... I want to go to Denmark. Maybe we can go to Bretagne, but we know his next adventure is off to Celceta after all. Is he even giving you a lead into it? Oh god, it is! To be continued in Adol's next book. Well, we do have that on the channel. That is there to play. That is there to see. So, deep underneath the lighthouse, why was Gunnar there? Why was he deep out there? That was the indication that you might want to go looking a little further, I think personally. A little nod, because there's no marker that says that all of a sudden there's a runestone shining deep within. No marker at all to be seen. So I've already seen this once on stream.
Something's there.
But I didn't record it for the YouTube side. So let me show it to you, and then let's talk about it a little bit. Because this is interesting for the future of East, I guess. Possibly. An undescribed runestone stands squarely ahead.
The cold up north doesn't mess around. How long's it been? 46 years? Hard to believe their fleet vanished, just like that. Right after achieving their dream, too.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. I smell foul play. You know who always did like to toy with people's fates.
Checks out. Can't well picture her falling by the wayside otherwise. We're gonna want to brace ourselves, though, if that ends up being the case.
Sorry to drag you along on this.
Little late for that now. Besides, even if you begged me not to come, I made her a promise I'm aiming to keep.
Let's hurry ahead then. We have to make it out of here before sundown.
That vision, was it of the past, or the future of Adol and Doggy displayed? Dogi even, sorry. It's quite surprising that they had this. Of course, in Ys's long history, or at least in manuals of Ys games past, it has been stated that Adol goes missing somewhere later in his life when he goes to the Antarctic or he goes on an Arctic expedition. That seems to be the end of Adol's life, as stated, as known, like he died or went missing there, one of the two. But it does seem like now it's giving you a little bit of a hint into how that ends up happening, or if that even really is the end. Does he die there? He goes there because of seemingly maybe Karja? Seemingly he who likes to play with fates. There's been a couple of links between a certain god in the last couple of games, Ys 9 and Ys 10, which hints at Falcom wanting to do a little bit of a, not necessarily overarching plot for the whole series, though to be honest, there's probably a bit of that anyway, because why does Adol exist? A peerless warrior who's just able to martially fight everyone he fights, everywhere he sees. He goes to places where it's needed for him to be, just ends up there randomly, almost as if God-given, God-ordained. He seems to be like a vessel, a scion, or whatever, just someone that something above uses. A tool, you could say, to sort out things. Maybe fight against the forces of chaos. He's the one that brings order, the one that stops things going rampant. I don't know how to put it. But that said, there could still be like a big force that force needs to fight against. And Loki seems to be mentioned quite a lot as a god of chaos. A god that engenders that. And if it does seem to be Karja involved as well, like coming back to around this region, it's very interesting they've gone with this plot thread. It could be a little thread that links a small series of games within Ys, because he's wrote many, many, many books. After all, it'd be amazing if we see as many games as books Adol's said to have written. But it does make it sound like they want to do like a plot thread over several games, like loosely, to mean that you can jump in anywhere yet again. But for those who have been following the series for a long time, you might see something a bit bigger take place. It's an interesting thought. It'll be interesting to see where they go with this. Don't you say? So with that done, with that shown, I'd like to hear your thoughts. But I think we shall leave for the farewells, the end of the Let's Play. So thank you guys for watching that little bit. It's very interesting. When's Ys 11? Or to be honest, when is Lost City of Kevin? Kevin of the Sands, give me that too. Okay, let's keep on. Sword and the axe there by the stone. No, come back, Karja. We can see you again, hopefully. Pretty please? Pretty please? Nice little end screen there. We can save completion data and return to title screen because, of course, New Game Plus being a thing. The difficulty modes if you want to get every single trophy that exists there. It's a pretty nice looking one, isn't it? So, that is it for Ys 10 Nordics. I guess if I return to title screen, there might be a different screen here now. Let's have a look. Indeed there is. Olizandri and Karja sitting by a tree. So, with another adventure of Adol Christin's done, there is not an Ys 11 out yet as of this point in time. So the question comes as to when Falcom will move over to the next one. When they'll get round to it. Of course, they're really highly into Trails at the moment and even rebooting the series. But I would very much look forward to an Ys 11, maybe with a bit of a faster turnover between it going out in Japan and coming over here, because these games seem to be coming on a little bit faster. Though I do wonder if the Nisa partnership is so much in the way that Nisa wants to bring things over faster on the East side of things. I just wonder, again, how the gameplay will evolve, how it will change, how it will look, how it will play. Another adventure of Adol Christin's. Maybe an exaggeration in his written book form. Maybe the truth. We will never know. But, for now, for this Let's Play, I will call it here, as we have seen it all. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time for more course, for way more Nihon Falcom games, we've got the Trail series and every East game localized in the West at this point on the channel. Go check them out if you want to. And until next time, until our next adventure, I say, bye-bye.